Good afternoon, and it's 4 o'clock. Harlan Municipal Utilities Board of Trustees meeting. Today is Thursday, July 23rd, 2026. Do I have a motion to call the meeting to order?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Roll call.
Randy, Oren, aye.
Al, aye.
Michelle, aye.
Lukey, aye.
Barnett, aye.
Okay, number 2, approval of the agenda, conflict of interest. What's that?
I approve the agenda.
Second.
Roll call.
Oren, aye.
Nick is aye.
Michelle, aye.
Lukey, aye.
Barnett, aye.
Okay, approval of the consent agenda. All items listed under the consent agenda will be enacted by one motion with a roll call vote. There will be no separate discussions on these items unless a request is made prior to the board votes on the motion. Consent agenda items may include non-controversial subjects.
Move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Roll call.
Oren, aye.
Nick is aye.
Michelle, aye.
Lukey, aye.
Barnett, aye.
Okay, number 4, member quote from Crosstech for RO unit 108 units in the amount of $91,800.
Okay, so we got 2 RO units. Basically, Donald's got quotes from 2 different suppliers, so this Crosstech is a different supplier. The delivery of those membranes is 10 to 16 weeks out. Like I said, it's a new company that uses technology that allows for more flow through the membranes, and the longevity of the membranes is longer than the traditional membranes that we've been using. So we wanted to try those out. I'm going to check a few references though too on top of that before we do actually put the order in. But like I said, that'd be 108, so that'd be just for one of the RO units. Takes 108 membranes.
Is this budgeted?
It is. Well, actually, between I guess that and the next one, Donald's got 110,000 put away in the CD. We did that about 2 years ago, and that's what we thought the number was going to be at that point. So obviously, between these two, we're about 150. So basically, probably going to have to take some money out of either. Gonna have to transfer some money either out of kind of his maintenance budget to cover the rest of it, but we do have 110,000 in a CD that was set aside like 2 years ago.
So do you want them to approve the use of that CD also?
Yeah, I would say so. That's what it was.
At this time,
That's what it was earmarked for. The only thing is that, and I've got to find out a little bit on that too. Timing is the whole issue here too. That CD matures in October 7th. Now there again, this does, we're like almost 4 months out before we actually get that set. So by the time we're there, that one would mature, we could pull it out.
So, question, Joe, the difference between, not there yet, but the next item, there's roughly $30,000 difference, right? Or is there $30,000 of extended time, performance? I mean,
And that's the
what's
thing.
going to justify us to spend that versus sort of the next item on the?
Yeah, that is the thing. The next item is the traditional ones that
Yep.
we have used in the past. So that's the thing, I guess we're wanting to compare them both. We're supposed to get the longevity out of this newer membrane.
Okay.
So it's kind of one of those things, we're gonna kind of have a side by side, is the thought process on that.
Okay.
It's a newer technology.
So will they, Crosstech, do any guaranteeing of extended life versus our traditional one?
Well, that's something we can definitely check into before we order them. Donald had done kind of the homework on that. Of course, he had his grandfather pass, so he's on his way back from that funeral. We had talked to this company a little bit at the Iowa Rural Water Association's annual meeting, kind of about they actually presented it at that conference. is where we came up with them, so.
What's the comparison? So if, like, is the number 4, I'm just making this up, 20 years and number 5 is 10 years, or how can we compare?
There again, it all depends on how much water you run through it. You know, with this new deep well, is it going to shorten the life a little bit in either case? I think he'd gotten, trying to think the last time we replaced, did he mention that? I think he would be getting about 7 years out of the old ones. So, you know, can we get 10 out of this new stuff, the new technology?
One and the same.
So basically, you're asking, we're gonna see which one lasts the longest
Yeah.
out of
I
the,
mean, they both are the same age, I mean, those membranes are the same age, they try to alternate both units. Cause we weren't ever to that point where we could run both units at the same time. We did not have the well capacity. Now with the deep well, and if we get the ozone in place to where we can handle the ammonia, you know, we'll be able to run both of them at the same time. But we've been alternating to where they're getting used as evenly as they can. So actually, both units need to be replaced. They're to that point. I guess, does that answer your question, Al?
yeah.
Yeah.
So if you tried to make a comparison between the two, would you be thinking of gallons filtered through? When you test them,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
And they also look at, I mean, they go more by the pressure buildup. You know, they try to clean I can't remember if they run so many gallons through and then they clean them. And then run so many gallons through and clean them. But then that's part of that, you look at the pressure too, buildup. You start getting build up, that's another reason to try to get them cleaned also.
The other advantage might be too that, so if you have 2 and this one lasts 10 years and the other one lasts 7, then you're rotating,
You start
you're having to
rotating.
buy, because you don't want to have to buy 2 at the same time every time either.
Right.
Guess I'd encourage us to be a little bit more clear on why we're spending so much more money versus the traditional item, which is the next item on the agenda,
Agenda.
right? So,
Yeah, because that's 30,000.
and it's a third more, right?
Mhm.
and I was thinking, you know, crude math. I'm not taking a position on this and saying this. Roughly, if we got 3 more years, that would be
Just a wash.
roughly
And I
the.
was saying,
right,
Kevin, it's just a
10,000
wash,
years.
yeah.
But
Same.
Yeah,
it was still kind of, you know, work out,
Mhm.
because we had a 7-year life on the other one, more or less.
Mhm.
Why, that's another third more for another, well, roughly another third more.
More, it's kind of
Yeah.
wash, yeah.
I mean, you have to make the decision this month to buy them, Joe, or,
I mean, if you want to get a little more information on them, the thing I would suggest is we table item 4, but we do vote on item 5, which we know we've got those. I
Yeah.
mean, and they are more around that, you know, you're looking at what, 126,000 there? I mean, which is closer to that 110 we had set aside. So
Yeah.
we basically base that money that we set aside in that CD
Yeah.
for replacement of both sets. So we could table 4, at least get 1 set so we can get 1 membrane replaced. And then we can get more information and come back at it next meeting.
I'd feel more comfortable
Sure.
that way.
Sure.
You know, just,
Yep.
maybe it's the right thing, but I don't see, or I'm not hearing sort of the justification to pay a third more, especially when it's above sort of the money that you already got set aside.
Set
right?
aside. And that's fine. And like I said, we can get more information on that newer, an actual number on longevity.
Okay.
I mean, I know they're still just speculating that you get longer run times on them, but
I would say too that even if if you do get that information and it is similar, it still justifies not having to buy two at a time each time too, and you're going one every 3 years or however
Right.
that goes, if it's a similar amount of money that we're spending. Just to keep that in mind.
Sure.
And then the CDs would be available. The CD would be available more towards October.
October. But I know we do need to get that one order, because like I said, we are getting pressure built up in both. And we're still to the point where we can only run, alternate right now. So hopefully we'll get more information and come back next month, so maybe, maybe the option is we just buy the $60,000 ones for the other unit
The other-
next month.
Yeah.
If we don't feel comfortable, I guess, with the
Joe,
$90,000.
for that 63 one, will he need to cash the CD in for that, or does he have enough money for that one alone?
That we'll have to look at budget-wise.
Okay.
He's got plant maintenance budget. I'd have to look to see for sure
I
what
just
was
don't
in
know
that.
if they need to vote on cashing in the CD also, that's what I'm getting at. And cause I think since it's designated, I think they have to vote that it can be spent.
Spent on it.
Could we,
We could,
Table both of them until next month?
No.
No, I think he said they need.
We have to
I
get
think
at
we
least
could
one
approve getting
replaced.
the money out of the CD and the 63 for sure, and then we could table 4, and then if you need the CD for that as well, you
As
have
well. Yep.
You already have one there.
Yeah, you have
Give
the
them
option,
of
because you're
How
gonna,
they need to fund it.
Okay.
either way, they're gonna have to give the CD even if they go
Right.
with the 63,
Yeah.
twice, right?
And just for the future, we should probably have that on the agenda as a separate item, and
Right.
we're gonna have to
Okay.
do that,
Sure.
but just for transparency and to.
And timing as far as when that arrives, when we gotta pay for it. If we're getting close to that October, do we take a penalty to pull that out early? Or are we able to take that out of general fund and then replenish the general fund once that CD's matured?
You
We'll
guys,
look at those options.
you guys have
Yeah.
to sort that out, right?
Yep, okay.
I think the bank would charge you,
Yeah, so I was gonna say, yeah, whatever.
Penalty,
Yeah.
draw.
So hopefully, and that's something I'll ask our auditor if we can pull out of general
And
and
the
then
cross
replenish.
tech quote does end 8/20, so you might have to bring it back at the meeting on the 13th and make that an in-person meeting.
Okay,
Because when's our second meeting, isn't that the 23rd? What's our agenda say? 27. And this quote's unless he can get an extension on the
extension
quote,
on that quote. We'll work at that. Yep,
just so that the board knows they might have to do it at the 13th meeting.
yes.
So, from a procedure wise, then, item 4, then, what do we need to do? Just,
Table, do we just need to table that, number 4?
Yeah, I think,
You
let's
need a
just vote to
motion?
table
yeah,
it,
the motion?
so we have it official.
I move that we table, item number 4, or agenda item number 4, which was buying 108 units from, Crosstech at a, cost of $91,800.
second,
Roll call.
or an I?
Nick, aye?
Shall I?
Lukey, aye.
Barnett, aye.
Because then we have it official that we're bringing it back.
Yes. Yep,
So, in number 5, you want me to add the word CD?
Yeah, and cash CD, that was designated.
So I move that we approve the membrane quote from Aquaquote for 108 units in the amount of $63,149 and give permission to take out the CD.
Yeah, the cash, the CD, and
Cash
it'll go to the general fund.
Second?
Roll call.
Or an I?
Nick, aye?
Michelle, aye.
Lukey, aye.
Barnett, aye.
Okay, number 6, hydro optimization and automation solutions annual cyber protection subscription service agreement and upgrades in the amount of $7,360.86.
okay, so this covers the cyber protection for the water system SCADA, or the SCADA system for the water plant. So this controls the functions of the wells, water plant, water towers, etc., etc. Each year we gotta renew that. It's just software upgrades. any service that we have with them also, to a certain point, I guess.
And that was not budgeted either?
That is budgetary, he's got a place where he's pulling that out of, probably plant maintenance also.
So I make a motion to approve, the cyber protection subscription service agreement and upgrades for 1 year in the amount of $7,360.86.
Second,
Roll call.
Orin, I.
Hickus, aye.
Michelle, aye.
Lukey, aye.
Barnett, aye.
Okay, number 7, well treatment quotes from the following: Lane Christensen Company, $51,500, and Cohoy Group, $51,232.
So this is also money he sets aside, our budgets for, just to keep, I'll continue maintenance of the well field. Obviously Cahoy is just a little cheaper, we've used them before. We're looking at acid treatment of 4 wells to increase capacity. Just trying to stay ahead of the game on those.
Is there an opinion on what one Donald thinks is better?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Cahoy's probably done them the last, I don't know if we've had anybody but Cahoy, I think, since I've been here in the 4 years. I know Lane's always kind of given us a number too, but it's always been, Cahoy's been just a little cheaper. And they do a good job. I mean, we're able to work with them.
Well-
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I move that we accept the Cahoy Group well treatment quote for $51,232.
Second.
Roll call.
Orin, I.
Hickus, aye.
Michelle, aye.
Lukey, aye.
Barnett, aye.
Number
And
8,
just to go back up to number 5, that will not go into our general fund, it would go into our water fund.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Sorry.
no, I was the one that said that, and it'll go into our water fund.
okay, number 8, Itron maintenance renewal, $10,388, and Itron maintenance renewal for software, $3,938.67.
Okay, both these renewals are for meter reading equipment and associated software.
Is this budgeted?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the next time we do can we put
Oh,
budgeted or not budgeted?
Okay.
Budgeted or not budgeted?
I'll make a motion to approve the Itron maintenance renewal for $10,388. Itron maintenance renewal software for $3,938.67.
Second.
Roll call.
Orin, I.
Hickus, aye.
Michelle, aye.
Lukey, aye.
Barnett, aye.
Okay. Number 9, chamber funding, $5,000 requested, which was budgeted, or increased to $10,000 per CEO recommendation, $5,000 from the board designated industrial development checking account, which has a balance of $279,159.41. So you're just giving them 5,000 more, not
Correct.
10,000.
No. Making it 5,000. Like I said, that was, can't remember what year we went from 25 to 35. Was
2
that
years.
24?
2 years ago, wasn't it?
20,
Or was it
25.
25.
Yeah, that's when he started, yeah.
Yep. So we did work through, I mean, I guess I've noticed just working with Paul since he's been here, I mean, much more involved. He's seeking out funding to offset some of the potential costs to increase our capacity in natural gas. I mean, I know we haven't got the funding in hand, but I mean, he's got places where he's looking and trying to get funding to help offset those costs. He's also been involved in possible funding for an HMU customer that is considering a major addition at their business. He was also very active in that planning of Ragbri. I know Ragbri was committed coming here before he got here, but he's been pretty instrumental, I think, in some of the organization, which, you know, I guess I can't say one way or another if the previous director wouldn't have been, but I really see a lot of more commitment, I think, from Paul. So I guess I was just seems like he's helping us on our end too, just with funding options, or at least helping us try to get pointed in the right direction.
And the amount that you guys are increasing, the city is spending $27,500 a year.
Yeah,
And I was in the borderline of bringing that to the council, just figure out a way we can balance that compared to HMU. But with Paul involvement, I meet with him weekly, I get updates, I think we're just gonna continue keeping it 27,500. So he might deserve an increase, I don't know, but you guys are the board to make that decision.
thoughts?
And you're pulling this from the industrial development checking account?
Yeah, it was money that I think was, I can't remember if we're still putting money in there, if that was, at one point they put it in there for kind of the economic development, and then it was stopped at, I don't know what year, I'd have to go back and do some checking, but that money has just been kind of sitting there for a board designated for economic development or industrial development.
And Joe, last year, did you reduce it?
Yes.
Yes, last year we went from 35 down to 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we reduced it by 30,000 because we weren't seeing anything. So this is
Correct.
just
Right.
jumping up. From 35 now we'll be at 10,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Correct.
So I guess it's unclear to me how sort of the city and HMU should be viewing this, because at the end of the day, City of Harlan residents are the ones that are gonna pay for the chamber, right?
Correct.
Between both of us, and so I sort of feel queasy that we do one thing, and is it aligned with what the city is trying to do, or is the city aligned with what you want, Joe? And so to me, I'd like to see a little bit more, what are we, the city of Harlan, and when I say city, I'm talking about everything the city has, and that includes HMU and Jarvis's organization, to say, what do we want the chamber to accomplish for us? And, you know, be very specific versus, we feel he's doing a good job. I don't disagree, I think he is doing a good job, but what do we expect out of the chamber, and put the goals down, and then you see those and you're aligned, and if it's gonna cost 5,000 more, then I'm on board. But this feels just a little bit, it's not clear what we're trying to achieve here.
I don't know if I can speak for it myself or for the city part of it. I mean, compared to the previous individual, we're looking at economic development, and he's progressing in that area. He's reaching out for grants, he's
Yep.
doing certain things that we wanted part of the job description on the
Okay.
city aspect of it and economic development. And also to volunteers in the community, recruiting business and things like
Yep.
that. So we're seeing him going in the right direction, but the issue is also the funding. All those things that require money, but how is he gonna be able to accommodate that? That's why the city decided just to keep the 27,000, because that will allow him to do what he wants to do.
And I think, yeah, our main thing, Kevin, is just economic development. I mean, if we can get businesses in there, obviously it helps us on our end with utilities.
So in that position, it's really hard to justify individual item, because some things will need 6 months.
Yeah, no, I
To
understand.
get
It's
to where
just
you
like,
need to be, yeah.
takes a while to put the cake in the oven and see if it's a cake or
Yeah.
a pie, or
Yeah,
whatever it's gonna be, right?
Does he get evaluated, like, once
Yes.
a year or
Yeah.
on
This is my
progress?
last term on the board, but before, we discussed that, we're gonna do evaluation every 6 months. And I meet with him weekly,
Oh,
just to get progress on what he's doing, so. On my side, I feel like he's doing what we wanted to do.
It's good, and, it's nice to know that we are maybe turning a corner on this. And it's encouraging. I was chamber president for 3 years, back in the early 2000s. And we always had a problem with what is the value proposition of the chamber, how do you measure that? My concern on this is, as a board, we don't have any real measurable things to count progress with. in good faith, saying, hey, let's push more money in this direction, let's bake the cake. I really wonder if $5,000 that they would not get additionally, if that's gonna cripple them. I really want to look towards, let's get some measurable goals and, let's drive a stake in the ground so we can see what's moved. What are our expectations for this money? And right now, we have none, and I'm not saying good faith is a bad thing, but we do have a new administration which is making good direction. Let's figure out what we want as a board, what our measurements are and expectations. We could end up down the road from now, they didn't meet our expectations. Well, they didn't even know what they were. So we need a measure before we maybe kick in another 5,000. What do we expect? And is that okay with the chamber? Are we way off on our expectations? But as ratepayers, what am I getting for my money? And I know it's not gonna be a big miracle or anything like that, but I'm just uncomfortable with the concept of, it's bad to say the words throwing money, making additional expenditures without knowing, each side knowing the expectations. Something, for God's sake, that we know what it is and that's realistic. And then, if it looks like we go that direction, donate the money, build the customer base for both Harlan and HMU.
So are those measurable goals are gonna be developed by the HMU or it has to be done by the chamber board? Because the chamber board has their own goals.
I think we would need to see those goals.
Okay.
And again, they need to be measurable,
Yeah, they're measurable, attainable goals, yes.
right? And, know that there's an accountability system that we'd say in 6 months or whatever, oh, hey, all right, we want to throw in on this.
Okay.
So should we get those goals from the chamber and just bring them back to a committee meeting? And then you guys can look at those and see if like in 6 months or to see if you guys agree with what they have on their list or if you guys wanna add more to it. And then in 6 months, you'll know if.
Yeah, well, I
any of
mean,
those
it
goals
maybe
are being
makes
met.
sense to do a combined, or not.
Because the chamber goals might be completely different what HMU wants on the membership.
That's what I was just thinking, like if if we could see the chamber goals first, maybe there's one we could just dig down in a little bit.
Well, the chamber isn't just Harlan, it's Shelby County,
Shelby
right?
County, yes.
So there's other towns?
Other towns involved, and that's why I said the measurable goals that we have in there,
Yeah.
they might not be directly to HMU, so if you guys can have your goals, and that can come to the chamber, especially in economic development, because that comes with utilities and stuff like that. You guys can set those goals, and then we can set the chamber.
And it might be easier for Paul if it aligns with the overall goals.
Overall goals,
And
yes.
we can see those and then we can just find one that would work.
I agree.
Because otherwise, he's not gonna be able to just please us as a school and, I would hate for him to get overwhelmed with that too. We would wanna align with theirs. That's my opinion.
Right, you don't wanna go off to a
I agree.
completely different direction. Okay.
So we wanna get those goals and then bring them back to a committee?
Yeah, I would say back to a committee.
Okay.
Thoughts on committee?
Would it be the admin committee,
admin
or should
committee?
we have like a one from, like, I think Kevin's on electric, gas and water, Randy's on admin, I mean, should we do something like that,
Could do a
or
mix, and
does
we've done
anyone
that
wanna
before.
volunteer?
Yeah.
We've done
We
that
also have an
before.
ad hoc committee, and I don't know who that is, I can't remember right off the top of my
I
head,
think I'm on ad hoc.
but do we just want volunteers? We can just make our own committee right now,
Just
if
kind
anybody
of,
wants
just
to be on
two.
that. Sounds like Randy would probably like to be,
Yes, please.
and do we have one more volunteer?
I'll do it. I have nothing to do during the day.
6 o'clock in the morning.
I'm retired.
We'll get those and then we will schedule a committee meeting
Okay.
and
And maybe
obviously-
$5,000 isn't the right number, maybe it should be 10.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Additional 10,
Yeah.
right?
Additional 10, yeah. Sure.
So do we have a motion to at least do the funding of 5,000 that we had budgeted?
Well, do we need to,
Table.
oh, you have to pay,
Yeah, we get an invoice from them.
Yeah, we got
July,
an
yep.
invoice for them, and
Ah,
we've
okay.
always taken that to the board every
Okay,
year,
all right.
unless it was like a 3-year commitment, so we don't have a 3-year commitment or anything, it's a year by year right now.
I move to approve the chamber funding of $5,000 per the invoice that we just received.
Second,
Roll call.
Moore and I.
Nichols, aye.
Michelle, aye.
Lukey, aye.
Barnett, aye.
Okay, number 10, Danabo, or Denabo?
De novo.
Denovo. Agreement for electric transmission study.
So on this, I guess, we got terms and conditions from De Novo before they're gonna present any kind of proposal to do the transmission study. Basically, we want this company or consultant to look at our transmission outside the city, transmission line coming from Avoca. Is there other options to bring transmission in to get more power capacity? They want the terms and conditions kind of hammered out, which we've had our attorney look at. I think he had a couple of requests that we need to look at and make any changes in. And then once we get that back to them, the terms and conditions that we're satisfied with, they would come back with an actual proposal of what the cost may be. I can't remember if they kind of threw out a number, but we would come back in August with that. Was it about?
The first one was just for the study was right around 38 to 40, but then we wanted the additional, so.
If we had another
get the-
loop come in or
the
another
additional
tie come in,
capacity.
yeah. And I think that,
They thought it might possibly double another 20 or maybe 30,000.
1,000 on top of that. So we can, and like I said, we can come back, get the terms and conditions to them, and then have, come back in the August meeting with maybe those couple options, and then just get an idea.
So are you not approving this one now, since it doesn't have Matt's recommendations in it? And you're waiting, or,
Well, the agreement is the terms and conditions, or is the agreement the actual proposal?
well, I thought this was the agreement, and then they'll give you the scope of work.
Yeah, this,
So they need to approve this first before they'll give us the scope of work, that's what I thought you said.
yes,
But then the scope of work's gotta be tied in with a
But this
cost.
doesn't have any of Matt's changes in it yet, right?
Correct.
So that's what I'm asking is, are you,
Well, then we would table this until August.
and do you have time to do that? To table it?
sure. It's just a study that we haven't done, so it's something that we need to do. It's never. as far
It's
as
never
I know,
been
it's never
done. I mean, so we just don't know where we set with transmission, additional transmission.
And I didn't, when we got this information, I was not under the assumption, I've never had a company that asked to have the,
Yeah.
like the
The
terms and conditions approved
Yeah,
Before the scope of
before
work?
the scope of work.
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
I haven't either.
Sounds
That's
suspicious.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense.
No.
So Joe, a quick question for you.
Mhm.
Is this being back into the economic development to see the capacity of electricity you have?
Correct.
So just in case if there's any future projects, you guys can be able to.
That we have to
determine if
have
you can-
additional capacity come,
Okay.
because we're pretty much limited right now to a meg or two of additional power that we can provide anybody.
Without additional generation.
Correct.
And this is in your budget, right?
Yeah. this
You
is
did budget for this?
Yes.
Well, how do you know?
Yeah, do you have a price?
That's what's odd, I mean,
Well,
it's
you
one
just
thing,
put, I just put a dollar amount in there,
You're saying based on if it's the 50 or the 60?
yeah, because we.
That money is
We already
there.
did the in-town study, that was 48,000,
Mhm.
and this is this is outside of Harlan.
So would this be a recommendation for you to go forward with talking to them a little more and then coming back with the price and then we approve that, or?
I don't think they'll give us the price until this first one is approved, right?
Right. So we have to approve this to get the terms and conditions, and then after I submit that, then they'll send out.
I guess the only way, I mean, I know Matt has, if that, I don't know, this makes sense, I guess, if it can be in the form of a motion. If we approve the terms and conditions with Matt's recommendations, then we move forward.
Well, it's not costing us anything if we
No.
approve it, so that's, I mean, we just, it's kinda like when
Because you're not gonna have a
reading
number,
something
you're
and
not
it
gonna have
says
a
I
number
approve
to
these
approve
terms and
until the
conditions,
next.
and it won't let you go on to the next
Correct.
screen, so I
So you
guess.
don't have a contract yet.
Mm-mm.
Correct.
This just gives you the options to see the conditions.
And like I said, Matt's reviewed them.
And just his recommendations, is that stuff that you think that they'll agree to?
I think so.
Simple,
Yeah.
simple things that,
Usually he's got his couple simple things that he likes to see, make sure it's, if it comes into legality, it's in the state of Iowa and not another state.
So I guess I'm testing here, that the
Mhm.
motion should be that we approve, work with Danville agreement to complete the terms and conditions for a study. Is that,
Mm-hmm.
is that
with the attorney recommendations.
with the attorney
Attorney
recommendation?
recommendations.
So would we include, or am I not understanding, this would be at this time at no cost to HMU?
Correct.
Yes.
And if we would not want to proceed with it afterwards, what happens? Is there a penalty for
Mm-mm.
not proceeding?
You
No.
would just deny the scope of work once that comes back.
Okay, so let's see if I can remember what you told me.
How about say, do I have a motion to approve the de novo agreement for the electric transmission study with the attorney recommendations that we have received with no cost at this time?
Okay.
Have a motion for that?
Yes.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Or not?
Hickus, aye.
Michelle, aye.
Lukey, aye.
Barnett, aye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm still stuck on the de novo, cause the de novo I know is spelled D-I-N-O-V-O. So I'm still stuck on that word. Okay. Number 11, transfer of funds for health insurance, $25,000 to a board restricted account with approval to withdrawal without board approval for funding shortfalls. Board chairperson, as a member of the insurance committee, will be notified if this happens. This will ensure that claims get paid in a timely manner.
so if you remember last month, this transfer is a result of discussion at the last month's board meeting on the funding shortfall, the partial self-funded portion of the healthcare. It was kind of one of those things, we didn't have money in there, we needed really board approval. And I think we transferred about 3,030 or something like that,
Right.
dollars. So then the hope was that we could turn back around and then just, we had budgeted money, or money in
Yeah,
that
we had
fund.
money left over at the end of last fiscal year. We
Put
would-
25,000 in that restricted account, so then if we get into a shortfall again, we could transfer.
And it can't be used for anything else. And this is actually how our auditor told us we could do it, so we know it's gonna pass that.
And this would only be for the maximum of the 25,000?
Yes,
And each time we'd have to refresh that fund when we go through the 25,000?
maybe.
Maybe.
We haven't ever had to do this in the 25 years that I've been here.
The only time you had a shortfall, yeah.
We've never had to fund that shortfall, but it's something that we could do, like, each year at the end of the year too. We could put more money in there if we over budgeted, but it can only be used for this also. That's why it's considered a board restricted, so it can't be used for anything else. And then if we need to withdraw it, we would just say, hey, they let us know we're short, we're transferring 5,000, and we would email whoever you guys would like, both the chairperson, since she is on the insurance committee, and that way she just kind of knows that it's still
Yeah,
happening.
Michelle and Al.
But we don't have to
Yeah.
have a meeting every time.
Aren't you shirts?
No, I don't think so.
I put chairperson as member of the insurance
Yeah,
committee,
okay.
because she is the,
Yep.
I mean, she's the chairperson and she's on the health insurance committee.
I make a motion to transfer of funds for the health insurance, 25,000 to a board restricted account with approval to withdraw without board approval for funding shortfalls and ensuring that the board chairperson as a member of the insurance committee will be notified.
Second.
Roll call.
Or not?
Hickus, aye.
Michelle, aye.
Lukey, aye.
Barnett, aye.
Okay, 12, information only.
Yeah, nothing in there.
Nothing, none,
Just an item.
none.
Nothing this time.
CEO's report.
Yeah, I've got a few items. Item A, still finishing those responses for the DNR, permit documentation for well 36, which like we talked is a conversion of well 35 to the, conversion of well 35 test well. So we're progressing on that. Item B, all new electrical at the fairgrounds racetrack, performed well over the fair races and RAGBRAI. We did have a few call-outs during the races, but the problems were on the customer side. So, I mean, everything we put in down there performed well. Additional utilities such as 3-phase for the stage, phone charging stations, electric bike charging stations, water bottle fill stations, and the shower trailer water connections all performed well during RAGBRAI. We plan to hear about any feedback on usage locations, etc. August 6th, I think, is that meeting, correct?
Yes.
Is that when we review?
Yeah.
Yeah. Only aware of 2 call-outs by our electric department for overloading of outlets on the square. Employees relocated power cords among the outlets to eliminate the problems.
Yeah.
So-
Steve, I think it was. Steve come up?
Yeah, or
Did what?
who came out? Was it Steven was up there or Steven?
Jacob and Corey,
Yeah, Steven was up there for the stage, wasn't
yeah.
he? Yeah.
Well, anyway, I can't remember who came out. Sharon was having problems with the vendors. He did a fantastic job. He was up there quickly.
Yep.
Diagnosed the problem, on a Sunday. So a big thank you there was 2 guys, I think,
Mhm.
out there,
Jacob
so.
and Corey.
Yeah, usually lineman and an apprentice.
Okay, so thank you for the work they did.
Mhm.
Wonderful, thanks.
Yeah. Yeah, and Telecom also provided an outdoor access point for internet connection to the city's beer stand, payment devices, and then we heard that kind of went flawlessly too. I don't think Kelly had any hiccups on that, so good signal, whatever worked there. Item D, this is kind of a long one. Water department will be replacing about 200 feet of the freshwater main north of the water plant on this coming Monday. We were waiting on materials to be delivered, hopefully tomorrow, but I did find out since then that it sounds like Monday morning, or late Monday morning we'll get that material. The open area of the main has been, and I got a picture I guess too, and I didn't print it off, but I guess I'll show you guys kind of what we found out after the contractor went in there. So that's a piece of the pipe we pulled out. So it's got a chemical buildup.
Oh, wow.
In
Is
it?
that C900?
Yeah, 10-inch main.
Wow, plastic.
Great.
So
I'm surprised to see you.
Yeah.
It runs.
I know.
Oh, man.
Is that calcium?
Calcium, I suppose.
Well, it's actually, we think it's actually soda ash that is used to, so once it goes through the process, through the RO units, pH is kind of low, or wonky, so used to add caustic soda to adjust pH. Had a mixer in the pipe right before it leaves the plant, goes down to the clear well. 10 years ago, they had this issue where it closed off the pipe. They had to replace about 100 feet. Recommendation was at that point to switch to soda ash to adjust pH. And I guess Donald or the guys were told that the soda ash should not line the pipe like it did. So basically, all last week, they kind of noticed that the flows, it was hard to get water down to the clear well. Pressures were building up a little bit, so early Sunday morning, probably about 1 o'clock or whatever, the couple of the guys, Donald and 2 of the other employees came in and kind of tore that. Figured, not a lot of usage before RAGBRAI gets here. They'd open up that pipe on the inside and just see what's going on when they noticed that, yep, it looks like we got this issue again, especially down the pipe wasn't too bad, but you could see the bottom elbow before it went into this pipe I showed you outside the plant. So so basically we were kept maintaining. I mean, yeah, we never had an issue where we're gonna run out of water, but kept maintaining, but had the thought of Ragbri coming with that additional water. We did end up Sunday morning contacting Regional Water, Tom, and he said we were okay to open up that valve up northeast of the high school there to at least start drawing about 100 gallon a minute. A little later, they wanted us to go down to 75. A little later, we went down to 50. But through that, from Sunday to through Monday, we used about 189,000 gallons from Regional Water. But like I said, we were able to maintain. We never got into a situation where we really were worried about water usage, especially with all the people visiting from Ragbri. Right at early Monday morning, we got McCarthy trenching in here outside of the plant. They went down, and that's where they cut out that section. Found out that section, like I said, probably had about a 5-inch diameter hole in that 10-inch pipe. Actually, in the elbow going up into the plant, and there was about that much of a hole. So that's where we're going to look at replacing all that pipe. Also found out that according to the design, that should have been all of a 12-inch pipe out of the plant down to the clear well. That first 120 feet appears to be 10-inch pipe, and that's what they took out and replaced. That little section was 10-inch. And on top of that, it's flowing back towards the water plant instead of gravitying away like it's supposed to. So we're going to try to kill two birds with one stone, get it sloping away from the plant, put in the 12-inch like it was supposed to be in the as-built. So don't know, somewhere through the construction process, that pipe wasn't checked for level, or flowing away from the plant. In some reason it was changed from 12 to 10 like it was supposed to be 12. So like I said, we're going to resurrect that all. Should take care of the problem. We're going to add in kind of an inspection port in this new line too, so then periodically we could either go in there and try to jet that line or inspect it with camera to make sure that we're not having the same situation. But Monday morning, once they took out that piece that I'd shown you, they did chip away what they could in that elbow, which then we gained about another 300 gallon a minute. So we went from 600 gallon a minute going down to clear well to over 700, 800 gallon a minute, which has really helped us out here to get things kind of back full again too.
So when that happens again, since Jenny's a liaison to the board,
Yep.
I would appreciate, the transparency's got to be there. I think I've worn that word out, transparency with this board. We need to let Jenny do her job, and that should have been brought to the board Sunday morning at 1 o'clock in the morning, or an email should have gone out. Because you've got, any one of us could have been up there in the square and somebody could have come up and said, hey, why's HMU got such a water problem? Well, then we as board members are looking like we're not there.
And I can see your side of it, Michelle, though, but we were never necessarily in trouble.
But the lay person doesn't know that. They just hear somebody got called out, there's water problems, we've got a problem with it, and we've got Ragbri in there, are they gonna be short water? That's all they're hearing.
Worried about?
That's what they're worried about. They're not, so I think Jenny needs to do her job by letting us know, had Jenny known about it.
And is text messaging fine instead of email? 'Cause I
Yeah, text
always have-
messaging, text messaging's fine. I don't care how the word gets out, just so that we're not stumped cause I came home at 8 o'clock at night.
Right.
And it's gone all day, and I come home, I'm thinking Ragbri's going great. Oh, so how come you have a water problem? What do you mean we have a water? And that's when I called you.
Right.
What do you mean we have a water problem?
And at that point, we didn't. And maybe shame on us, I guess Donald and I thought we had it handled.
But just to be transparent,
Right,
I mean, we've gotta be transparent. We've gotten in this, we've had this problem before where we're not transparent and it's come back and biting us.
But did we have a water problem?
no,
We
I
had the
mean, we were,
showers going, they
we
had
were
the
able
extra.
to-
Well, we had low, well, he was out watering and the pressure was low in the water.
Did anybody else get
it
questions about it?
shouldn't have been low.
It was low. I mean, he was out watering and he said the water was low. The pressure was
Cause I think our
not.
towers typically full is like 32 feet. I think we were maintaining, oh, I gotta think about the numbers. We were running half full.
Cause all they
At
were told
least.
is there's no pressure in the, well towers. And I'm like, hold on, I'm not gonna answer this question.
Right, but I don't think we ever got any call outs on low pressure,
Right.
did we?
No.
No, but I mean, the average person probably doesn't know that they have low pressure all the time.
If there's towers are full, it should be.
Right,
Right, but see, they were under the idea that the towers weren't getting pressure to them, is the way it was conveyed to them. So then that's when I called Joe and said, what's going on, because I don't like to be stumped by people.
yeah, and I think at that point I told you we were maintaining.
Yeah, you did, you
Yep.
said we were maintaining.
Mhm.
But I mean, I think if Jenny would've known, she could've sent a text message out, just saying there's no problem with the water, but there were call outs or something. Just so that we know.
Okay,
And nobody did get called out, right?
well, like I said, Donald and Trevor and Dylan came in just to try to investigate that early in the morning.
Cause they saw the alarm or something?
No, they knew that the pressures were going up last
Yeah,
week.
that's what you said.
Correct. I mean, we didn't have a loss of pressure or anything, it's just that there was, I guess, some concern why we were only able to maintain and we weren't regaining.
20,000 people, that'd be an answer.
Yeah, that's exactly it, but then that,
Just a thank you note for everybody coming out in
Yeah.
the middle of the night and
Yeah,
oh, yeah,
Working
yeah,
hard to
thanks
do
for
that.
doing that.
so we didn't have a,
So we
Yeah,
didn't have an
knowledgeable.
issue, that's all we
I
would've
I think
needed.
that kind of works both ways. If we hear about something, we need to call Joe or Jenny and ask about it, and then they can in turn inquire.
right.
Because I mean, maybe you didn't know nothing about it. You know,
I didn't know till I
Yeah,
came back to
yeah.
work.
I didn't know nothing
I mean,
about
I
it.
saw there was digging back there, but
I had water at home, I was fine.
I had water.
So you feel this 200 feet replacement will suffice?
The whole thought is we're gonna get fall back on this line. So it's a gravity line like it was intended. At least that's what we know from the plans. I guess I feel, or we feel that that's gonna take care of this coating problem, because if it's back, once the plant shuts down throughout the year, that pipe is sitting full there against the plant. And I think that's when we start getting the material all the way around the pipe.
It's not under pressure then? It's just gravity flow?
Yeah, it's just gravity flow, this line is, all the way down to the clear well.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Any other questions on that one? I know it was
I
kind
just
of a lengthy.
wanna thank HMU for all your help and support with Rock Valley Speedway, Jenny, Joe, Corbin, and everybody else from HMU for chipping in help with the events and
Yeah, I know the employees were great. I mean, not, like I said, not everybody helped during the day of the event, but the ones that did great, and there was a lot of work leading up to that.
Yeah,
Kinda
I'd
getting-
like to
getting-
add on to the ones the day of the event, I had that written down.
Mm-hmm.
We did have some employees that had to work past their allotted time. And so I really wanna thank them for staying later and
Yep.
working past their required 6 hours in order to get their time off, so. We haven't had anybody come back to us and ask for anything extra or anything, so
And
I
like I
really
said,
like
there-
to thank that group of people.
Yeah,
And there was a lot of work before, ahead of that,
Yes.
getting that transformer set there for the stage powering, putting the charging stations together,
Campground.
putting the water fill stations kind of together and out there so they function. So,
And we got a good comment from another electric utility on our setup for the stage too.
oh, really?
Yeah, you were there, at the park and rec, or at the, council meeting last night.
Oh, yeah.
Remember?
Yeah,
He said,
When Aaron
he
said
thought that
something,
was
yeah.
a very good setup that our guys did.
from REC.
And also thank you for attending all the meetings, I know it was a chaos, but,
Well, I think it went well, like I said,
Yeah.
except for it being so hot and maybe
yeah.
everybody didn't necessarily get the benefit from the event itself, I guess, as far as the number of people downtown and so forth.
yeah, there's additional comments that came from volunteers, and they say a lot of council members and HMU employees and their executive being out in the community and helping, so it was good feedback from the community, so I want to say thank you for that.
Sure. Last I've got here is some July anniversaries. Kathy Gear, 3 years. Stephen Gessert, 27 years.
Oh, well, congratulations on both of them.
All right.
Anything else? So we can adjourn.